The Pit is one of Hypixel's most insane game modes. Hackers, exploiters, botters, and dupers run rampant without consequence. As a player gains XP on the Pit, they level up more and more, but once they reach 120, they can prestige, only to start the process over again. Every prestige is more difficult than the previous, which has led the player base to optimize how quickly XP can be attained. Methods such as bringing in dozens of low-level accounts with robotic movements to farm kills endlessly and utilizing the best items in the game are commonplace on the Pit. However, this video is not about botting. No, my name is Sudi, and today we are covering the story of how one player gained 260 million XP and #1 on the leaderboards without killing a single player. Subscribe or Miniklu will ban you. Huge shout out to the fine folks at pitsandbox.io for sponsoring this video, and use code PITFALL for 10% off anything on their store. The first 10 people to use the code will have an extra discount, so you don't want to miss out. Meet HX Pulsefire. He's a player who started playing Pit a couple months after its release and got all the way to Prestige 18 that year. After a 5-month hiatus, he returned to the game and grinded to Pres 30 in September 2019. Ever since the start of the Pit, there has been a feature in the game where an entire lobby is rewarded with participation XP every 10 minutes. This XP scales based on the player's prestige and only becomes sizable in the upper brackets. In the summer of 2018, HX noticed this, but didn't think much of it, because he was a Prestige 4, and it only gave 15 XP per trigger. On Pit, the maximum prestige a player can get was 30, but in February 2020, that all changed. That month, my friends and I joined the Pit and used an exploit involving arrows and wolfpack pants to seriously lag out lobbies. We made an epic video, and on February 28th, the exploit was patched. Because of the prestige max, many people were tied for #1 on the leaderboards. But in the update that patched the wolf arrow exploit, Minikloon added prestiges 31 to 35. Because of this, HX was the first prestige 31.
Okay, I can prestige now.
Okay, very good.
This was all well and good, and once again players stacked up at Pres 35, all tied for #1. After the 1.0 update, there was an exploit with auto-buy and tactical insertions that allowed players to infinitely kill a single player. HX used this to get prestige 33 and 34, and later on got Pres 35 legit. 20 months following the addition of 31 to 35, in the 1.0.5 tryhard patch, Minikloon added prestiges all the way up to 50, with each prestige requiring exponentially more XP than the previous. Based on the math, the max level requires 11.8 billion XP. For context, the most anyone has ever gotten is 350 million, or just about 3% of the way there. Getting a single level at Pres 50 level 110 takes 150 million XP, twice as much as anyone had ever grinded before that update. The current best method of grinding is streaking, killing loads and loads of people in a row, but that can't even dent this. There are only 3 methods of XP that scale with prestige: Fast Pass, Participation, and King's Quest. Fast Pass is a renown upgrade which sets a player at level 50 upon prestige, rather than level 0. The King's Quest, however, is much more epic. Every 5 weeks on the castle map rotation, players can do the King's Quest. After earning 10 renown, bringing a cake, and killing 100 players, they receive some gold and an astonishing 30% of their prestige XP as a reward. Kings is so cracked that at Pres 41, HX here is gaining the equivalent of the first 24 prestiges in a single click. The only issue is Kings can only be done once every few weeks. As such, Minikloon knew it would be decades before someone actually maxed out the game. 3 years after his initial realization about participation XP, HX was Pres 36, and he saw that his level skyrocketed every time he had a participation trigger. When the update adding Pres 50 rolled out, HX did some testing and found that every lobby runs on a 10-minute timer separately. This means if someone were to get the reward, swap lobbies, the next proc in the new lobby would be in less than 10 minutes. AFKing in a single lobby grants 6 triggers per hour, so that's the baseline to compare to. Knowing this, HX created a simple macro using chat triggers that switched lobbies every time he got participation XP. This meant he could AFK forever, and it awarded 12 triggers per hour. Double the baseline. In late November 2021, HX got in contact with MC Panda and Mathematics, 2 of the greatest exploiters in all of Pit history. HX sent his code to Panda, who fixed it up and then got super invested in the situation. After an illegal group chat was created, Panda coded a script that tracked every single lobby's participation timer based on an exploit that could determine the exact age of a lobby. Over the next 2 weeks, the gang optimized the script, and HX's XP went to the moon. To avoid detection, he AFK'd with a nickname, without any prestige perks equipped and the API turned off. Despite this, on December 5th, the very first player to voice their suspicions was only Skeleton. Pulse got 5 levels at 110 without getting more than 100 kills. Skeleton observed HX swapping lobbies all day and theorized that participation XP was busted. Skeleton, you have no idea. The script was so good that they got it to proc at a max of 36 times per hour. Doing some math, it takes a bit over 4,000 triggers per prestige, and at the average rate, that's 145 hours, or less than a week per prestige, no matter whether you're Pres 1 or Pres 50. Panda, in less than 6 months there will be people who reach max. No. I will bet money. Take a look at this screenshot. Joins lobby, boom, plus 9k XP. Swaps lobby, plus 9k. Swap again, plus 9k. Absolutely baller. If you don't want to exploit an AFK glitch to become a top player just to have the chance at streaking, you can play on pitsandbox.io, the sponsor of today's video. After you join, get the top mystics and streak with the constantly full lobbies. Do/give prot to get armor, enchant mystics in the mystic well, and jump down to have some fun. The Discord link is in the description. Use code PITFALL for 10% off everything at store.harrys.network, and the first 10 people to use it will have an extra discount. Back to Hypixel. Seeing the changes on the leaderboards, Conclave, the Pit equivalent of Skyblock Nerds, was also getting suspicious. People saw HX climbing the leaderboards and knew he wasn't streaking to do it. But it took several weeks before the broader player base had any idea what was going on. I saw him constantly changing lobbies, but he was gaining XP. This entire time, Mathematics was utilizing the script as well, but nobody bat an eye. That's probably because HX reached number 1 on the 2021 Winter Solstice. Panda created Phase 3 of the macro, which gave data about every lobby on the pit, with a single command. With risk of a ban, in early January of this year, they decided it would be safer if HX actually did the lobby swapping himself, and recorded it all. After a couple weeks of manually playing, hours and hours per day, HX became the first player to reach Prestige 40. When this happened, the new bracket color was discovered, dark blue.
Oh my god!
What the hell is this? What the hell?
No one called it. That's crazy.
It took 7 months for someone to pass him, but HX is still number 1 since that person got banned. Unrelated to participation, HX also reached 1st and 2nd on the diamond items purchase leaderboard by not purchasing diamond items. Yeah, apparently buying anything from the shop increased that stat. I'll let HX explain the rest.
It works with this. As you can see, I have 112,880. And that's 112,881. So, without spending any gold.
In the middle of February, Minikloon released the 1.0.6 bonk patch, which added a universal cap for participation XP. This means no matter what lobby you're in, you can only get the participation reward every 10 minutes. Nowadays, because of the large player count, there are an average of 11 lobbies or 66 procs per hour. At that rate, each prestige would take 65 hours or 4.5 months for a level 0 account to reach Pres 50 max level at the theoretically fastest rates. To show the power of this, every year on the anniversary of Pit, all rewards are doubled, which allowed HX to earn 32,000 XP per proc. Unfortunately, the exploit was patched by that point, But in early March, HX went on an ult and used a trash glitch to go on a super slow overdrive streak. Because of this, he got banned for boosting. I asked him why he did it, to which he responded, "It was fun." After all that, the biggest flex is having a line in the API because of your abuse. I've been your host Sudi. DM me if you want to contribute to the full history of Pit documentary, and I'll see you guys next time.